Actually, it was the first time I went inside a surah, so that was a big challenge for me. Like, you sort of feel like an imposter.
Yeah.
Why are you here? You don't
Yeah.
belong here. Am I doing anything wrong?
Correct.
So that's exactly how I felt when I go to my first Jumaat Friday prayer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our viewers at home, and welcome to another podcast session. And I will be your main host for today. And today, I would say this is a rather special session because we have two NMC brothers, new Muslims. Okay, what is NMC? NMC is the new Muslims community, as you know. And after MCO, I think we rarely get new brothers to join in on our podcast. And Alhamdulillah, we have two revert brothers to join us in this session. Okay. So may I first introduce our guests for today? Okay, it will be first brother Yusuf. Yeah. Okay, please introduce us.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
I'm Yusuf from Malaysia.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Okay. So and next brother.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. My name is
Waalaikumsalam
Adam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I just did my revision approximately 3 weeks ago.
Alhamdulillah. How are you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, adjusting to the lifestyle, but feels very refreshing to learn things that are new and adapting to the new lifestyle. Which is
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
not that bad as it is. It's kind of okay to be
Okay,
honest.
right, not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Not too bad. That's great,
Yeah.
that's great. Because, but one thing that I've noticed, if both of you brothers could agree with me, is that the moment we took the Shahada, it's like a heavy burden just falls off your shoulder. It feels very free. It feels very free, knowing that there is a hereafter for us to work to. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Okay, and yourself, brother Yusuf, how long have you reverted actually? How long have you came to know Islam?
I reverted last November, so
Alhamdulillah.
it will be actually my 1 year anniversary coming to
Subhanallah,
Islam.
Subhanallah, 1 year reversion. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
So
Yeah.
I got to learn Islam actually 3 years ago. So the learning process actually took me around 2 years before I accepted Islam, because it is a gradually learning process.
Correct,
So
correct,
it
correct.
actually took me 2 years of researching, debating, and there's a lot of thoughts going on inside.
Exactly,
At first it
exactly.
was a lot of refusal. I was refusing the
Correct,
beliefs.
correct, because you weren't exposed to the right one. Correct.
Yes, I
Alhamdulillah.
Islam didn't came to me in the right image. So I really had a hard time trying to get like what is Islam.
To
So
adjust.
yes, so exactly there's a lot of thoughts coming in. So it took me 2 years, a lot of, self exploration.
Correct,
Like I
correct.
have to fight with myself basically internally.
Indeed. Alhamdulillah. Indeed,
Alhamdulillah.
when Allah decides to guide, no one can misguide. Alhamdulillah. How about yourself, brother Adam? If I may ask, do you face the same kind of struggle as well, or was it more breezy for you? That Allah made it breezy for you?
To be honest,
Yeah.
it's not smooth sailing as it is.
Subhanallah.
Because
Okay.
initially when I came to our Khaadem,
Yeah.
my expectation was that, alright, I'll take the reversion one day and then I'll just move on with my life and I'll just, change my lifestyle and move on with it. What I do not know is that after reversion I'm coming into this life as a newborn life.
Correct.
Whereas I have the brothers around me to give me guidance and support, alhamdulillah, as it is right now. And yeah, there's a lot of hurdles to go over to, because like you said, there's a big burden lifted off your shoulders
Yeah.
when you took the Shahada.
Yep.
So before that, there's a lot of thoughts going through my mind.
Correct.
It is the right thing, or what I'm going to move to the Islam life after this. So
Yep.
what can I do to make myself a better person, or who can I seek out into and
Subhanallah.
stuff?
Correct.
And yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of hurdles basically, but I feel alhamdulillah there's a lot of brothers here supporting me in our Khaadem to show me
Alhamdulillah,
how to do
alhamdulillah.
the solat, to sponsoring the PMS, perfecting my solat to learn how it, and I'm keen to go back to another session for the solat again
Exactly,
to perfect
exactly.
it, and then to also bring me to the Friday prayers mosque to show me how things work.
Correct. Well, speaking of Friday prayers, this will be our topic for this session. Okay, speaking about first steps. Okay, so this session we are talking about. It's titled "My First Jumaat Prayer." I personally remember my first Jumaat prayer. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm going into a new terrain. Like, what is this? What is you some sort of there's so many things, so many thoughts going through your mind. Will I be judged? You see, and what am I supposed to do? What if I do something wrong? What if I do something different? You see, will they stare at me and think that, my God, where did you come from? You see, so yeah. Speaking of those experiences, okay. So Brother Yusuf, let's start with you. When was the first time you went for your Friday prayer?
Actually, the first time I went to the Friday prayer is, I think, around the start of 2023, I would say. Definitely not around November.
Yep.
Because I started praying around December 2022. Actually, I learned prayers, everything at home. So for me, it was a big challenge. The first challenge I have, which is the most significant and traumatizing. Not
traumatizing.
It's not traumatizing. It's like because I was so frightened and so nervous. Actually, it was the first time I went inside a surau, so that was a big challenge for me.
Understood.
Same as what you said, like you sort of feel like an imposter in a
I
mosque.
would say an outcast.
Outcast, yes.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah.
I felt like, am I an imposter? So I always joke with my friend, do you think they would think I am imposter?
Yeah.
Why are you here? You don't
Yeah.
belong here. Am I doing anything wrong?
Correct.
So that's exactly how I felt when I go to my first Jumaat Friday prayer. But the good thing is, Alhamdulillah, the first time I went to Jumaat prayer, I was working in a logistic warehouse.
Okay.
So actually, there is a mosque right next to our
Oh,
warehouse.
that's very convenient, subhanallah.
That is so convenient,
Naam.
and alhamdulillah, I get a chance that I can hear adhan every day. It was actually a life-changing moment because I never lived in an area where you can hear the calling for prayers, which is the adhan.
And where are you from, if I may ask, Brother Yusuf?
Oh, I'm from Sarawak, Kuching. I grew up in Sarawak, Kuching. So both of my parents, one of them from Sarawak, one of them is from
Correct,
the Peninsula, Malaysia.
And nearby Kuching, because Sarawak is very big. East Malaysia is
Yes.
very big.
Yes.
So nearby areas, there are still unexplored or unexplored territories. You
Yes,
see, so
a lot of-
you would understand, even if they were to have a mosque, they probably don't even have a proper sound system to it yet.
Oh yes,
Correct.
A lot of
That
them
is
are
why.
like this. Actually, there's a huge difference
No.
between Sarawak and the Peninsula Malaysia
yep.
because when you explore in Kuching, let's say you go to the kampong,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
villages side,
Yeah.
you will find churches everywhere. Like,
Ah.
yes, exactly. When I'm traveling in the West Malaysia,
Yeah.
right, when you are driving, you can drive to the most random place, like small village or anywhere, and there will always be a mosque and a surau. But in Kuching, is the exact opposite. There's churches everywhere, even in the most rural area you can find churches. So I definitely grow up in a more like a
Christian community.
There is a
Christian.
church right outside of my house, so most people there's a lot of Chinese actually Christian.
But you
back in
previously you
Kuching.
weren't a Christian, yeah?
I wasn't a
you weren't a
Christian,
Christian.
but my mother was originally a Christian.
I see.
And then later on, she became a Buddhist. So actually, I
Ah.
was born and raised as a Buddhist. Both of my family sides are Buddhist.
I see.
So exactly, I never got myself into a situation where I can hear that 5 times adhan every single day. So during that work, I was a Muslim at that time, but I never get a feeling like this, any feeling close to this, because I was working. And the adhan, when the adhan came, it always feels so refreshing for me. It's like a refreshment for my soul. It's so beautiful. I never experienced anything like that before. Because when I work there, it's quite stressful. In the past, whenever you work, you just feel like stressful for the entire day. But
Understood.
whenever you hear the adhan, you feel like suddenly you are connected back again.
You are a break. You take a break from the world.
Yes, you
Correct,
take a break
correct.
from the world, and I felt, wow, this is something so important because
It is,
prayer
it
in
is.
Islam is our priority actually.
yeah.
So when you hear the calling of prayer, I was very touched by all the calling, especially because I was stressed when I was working.
Yep.
So whenever I hear the calling, I had this feeling like, wow, subhanallah, it is so
Alhamdulillah.
beautiful. Like
Yes,
I
yes.
want to come to tear because, and everything felt so right. Like the prayers are right on time. You know, sometimes you just feel like, oh, I'm so tired. I have been working for 5 hours straight. And then at the exact time where you felt exhausted, the prayer came. The calling started and you feel suddenly you felt a peace. So that is what I was experiencing. And the first time I went to Jumaat is actually the first week when I worked there. And during Friday, all the men will disappear. You will see everyone is a woman
that.
inside.
It's like suddenly, you know, okay,
Yes,
correct.
all the men disappear. So
Yeah.
this is a very fun phenomenon for me.
Okay, it's
because
interesting. It's interesting.
It's interesting because I have never seen it before, like
Correct,
during
correct.
Friday prayer, because I wasn't raised in a Muslim majority
Understood,
community. So I never seen any type of situation like this. So it was very eye-opening for me during the Friday prayer. All men are gone. Like you see all
Correct,
women
correct.
left inside the
Correct,
warehouse and there's no men. So actually at that time, one of my colleagues, I told him that, okay, I'm a Muslim. Can you take me to the Friday prayer? Because the mosque is next to our warehouse. So I just followed him, and it's good that he's very nice to me. So he take me together and I did my wudu. At that time, I know how to do wudu because I pray at home.
Alhamdulillah.
I pray in the surah.
Yeah, you have practical first.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have
so you don't feel so awkward lah, in a sense.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
don't feel so awkward because I never want to be like I'm not ready and
Yep,
I go
yep.
to the mosque.
Correct.
I never been to the mosque actually.
Yep.
So at that time it was like I think my first time been to a mosque. I don't know what to do, what is the SOP, what is the protocol, where should I stand, what should I do? Should I wash myself first? Where should I
Right.
stand? Should
Because,
I go
because
to
I mean, sorry if I may, because to us prior to become Muslim, let's say when we are not yet Muslims, we always had that impression that when it comes to Islam, wow, so many rules and regulations,
yeah.
so many things to do. What to do first? How? Correct or not? So
As-
we were exposed to it like that. You see, so
Yes.
yeah, I don't blame you, brother.
It's
I don't
quite
blame you.
confusing.
Exactly.
It's quite confusing at first
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I feel like I'm not qualified enough as a Muslim. I always ask myself, am I Muslim enough? Why? Because at first I don't know how to say. I always hear Muslim, they always mention Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah,
MashaAllah, Subhanallah,
correct,
all these
correct,
words,
correct.
right? But it was quite confusing for me because
Correct.
there's so many words. I don't know what it means.
Yep.
And when people speak, right, even if they speak in English or they speak in non-Arabic language, they
Yep.
always add this type of terms. So these
Correct.
terms are very foreign for me. I don't know how can I learn them. Like what's the meaning, you know? So I was quite confused. But slowly you just pick it up amongst the journey.
Exactly.
Because I was very active at learning at first. So I can pick it
Alhamdulillah.
up. Actually, Alhamdulillah, I'm one of the very lucky
Alhamdulillah,
to
more fortunate
actually like
Allah
to
has
have
made
the
it easy.
Yes, Allah made it easy for me and
Nah.
motivate me to learn about it.
Alhamdulillah.
So about my prayer wise, I was so scared. Like, where should I stand? What should I do? I don't know. What should I do? Should I stand at the right? Should I stand at the left?
Correct.
Should I cut the line?
What is Qiblat? Where is Qiblat? What is
Yes,
Qiblat?
like what is that? Where is the direction? Where
Yeah,
should I
yeah.
stand? Because when you
Yeah.
know there is every single mosque, some of them they will have bars. That is where you
Bars,
should
huh?
not bars. It's like a print on the prayer mat.
Ah,
it's like
the lining.
Yes,
the,
it's like a
the
lining,
soft
right?
lining. Correct.
So I was thinking, should I put my head there? Because when we do
Your feet. Understood.
when we do the sujud, right,
Correct,
we need to put our
correct.
forehead down
Correct.
on the ground. So I was like, is that for your feet or for your
Yeah,
for your
for your
forehead?
forehead,
you know?
correct.
I don't know where to stand. Should I stand outside the bar or should I stand inside the bar? You know?
Yeah.
Should I stand to the right? Should I stand to the left? And you know, when people started praying, everyone is trying to move to the front line. You know,
You have to
try
fill up the gaps.
Yeah, they try to
Yeah.
fill out the gaps. So I was like, what should I do? Should I go in front? Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I give
Yeah.
space? It's
Correct.
very confusing for me. I was frightened. That's
Very out of
why,
place, lah.
yes, out of place. I feel like I'm in someone else's territory. You know, I'm exploring.
Exactly. That is the exact term.
Yes,
Okay.
I was in someone else's territory, so I sort of had to export, you know. I try to follow people. I don't want to make myself look too dramatic. I try to act calm, even though inside my heart I was screaming. Inside of me, I was asking for help. No, what is going
Ya Allah,
on?
help me, help
What
me,
is
make
going
it
on?
easy.
Oh my God, am I a Muslim? Am I Muslim enough?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was so
yeah.
hard for me. So that is exactly what happened. I have to sort of just follow people. Luckily, my colleague was with me. He just said, just stand beside him, and I felt very safe. There's a Muslim guiding me. And what is funny is during my first Friday prayer, right, we only did 2 sujud. So that is something. Oh, why only 2 sujud?
During the afternoon, right?
Yes, because usually during our afternoon prayer, Dhuhr prayer, we have 4 sujud, which is
Correct.
we do our prostration for 4 times, right?
Correct.
But that during Friday prayer, it's just 2 sujud. So I was like, is this the right way? Am I in the wrong mosque? You know? So I didn't know anything. Am I in the wrong mosque? Why are they praying 2 sujud only? Oh my God, I should go to another mosque, you know?
Later, when you go to a different mosque, okay, it's still the same thing also. Ayo, you know, it's the whole, you know, place different.
Yes,
but
and
yeah, I understand.
it's like a little bit different for me. Some of them will do dua after prayer. Some of them will do like, you know, dhikr. So it was quite confusing to me. So, but after a long time, I start to pick it up. You know, actually, you need practice. You keep going to mosque, and then
Correct.
now it's just naturally. You expect what is going to happen. You know, everything became natural. And when I first stepped into a mosque, I felt so strange. Is everyone gonna judge me? Why am I here? Because you can rarely find a Chinese inside a mosque in Malaysia, at least.
Correct.
So I sort of feel like, would anyone think I'm not supposed to be here?
No.
Would I be kicked out?
Yep.
You know, a lot of negative thinking. So it was very scary.
Understood.
But now it's just natural. I walk inside a
Alhamdulillah.
mosque. Everything is natural for me. It feels like this is my territory now.
Alhamdulillah, because Islam is for everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
Islam is for everyone. So this is my territory
Yeah.
now. Whenever I go to
This
a
is
mosque.
the house of Allah. It also we have the right as well to worship Him.
Yes, that's
Correct.
why now everything, alhamdulillah, is natural for me.
that's
Everything is smooth for me. I go inside the mosque and go out like it's my home.
Alhamdulillah, it's so great to hear. It's so great to hear. And of course, we never always forget the adab of entering the mosque. If
Yes.
prior to sitting down, it's always tahiyatul masjid, 2 rakats first, right?
Yeah, the
But
sunnah.
yeah, the sunnah. Alhamdulillah, now it's like automatic already.
Yeah, automatic, right?
Okay, good. Okay, let's hear it from Brother Adam, who recent revert some more. Okay, I remember your first Friday prayer. Okay, Brother Adam actually texted me the other day. It's like, hey, Brother Hilmi, you know, can I join you guys for Friday prayer? Which I think
Mashallah.
was a very smart move. Subhanallah, very smart move.
Alhamdulillah.
Because prior to even though I reverted with Al Khadim, Alhamdulillah, you know, I started, but I think I can vouch for some of the people out there, even though they have friends and all that. You see, it's sometimes their friends might go to Friday prayers from work. They might go from their work,
Yeah.
so they have to, not to say alone. You're going with all other Muslim brothers, but still deep down inside, you're new to this. You see, a new environment. You see. So, Alhamdulillah, you texted. You know, at least we can bring you. You don't feel so out of place. And this could be a precursor to, like I've always mentioned, where we are going to have our Qiyam nights during Ramadan. You can come to Al Khadim and then, you know, just like, hey, familiar faces.
Yeah.
Right. So, sorry, Brother Adam.
Yeah.
So, tell us how you feel during your first Friday prayer.
So when I first texted you for the Friday prayers, I thought we are just merely going for Friday prayers, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just go there and then call it a day.
Yeah.
But little did I know that before Friday prayers, we'll go as a grouping. We'll go as
Yam
live together.
Tasin.
Yeah.
Sek Yasin.
Yeah, go
Okay,
Yam
Sek
Cha.
Yat, it's to eat first.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes if we the thing in Al Khadim, usually the planning comes on Thursday. We will plan, okay, which mosque we'll go to tomorrow. Okay, and depending on the distance of the mosque, okay, this one is further, so we'll leave here later, go for Friday prayers, and we'll eat after.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one, because it's closer, so we eat first, and then we
Yeah.
go Friday prayers.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. So I thought it's like, okay, new life of Muslim, maybe I'll have to do everything with. I maybe have to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I can get assistance from the brothers in our Khadim,
Correct.
course, but not all the time. So
No.
when I thought we were just gonna go for Friday prayers, you just call it a day. However, we went to have lunch first,
Yeah.
and then we go to Friday prayers. So this is where I noticed that wow, there's more to learn in our Khadim because there's brothers everywhere, where we can create a bond between us.
Alhamdulillah,
Because
alhamdulillah.
everywhere we look in our Khadim is our brothers and sisters. We can create a
Familiar
bond
faces, correct.
between us, and then we can keep on striving and learn more about Muslim and to make
Inshallah.
ourselves a better person. So
Correct,
I
correct.
felt that from that moment, oh, this is not just an ordinary group where you just go for Friday prayers
And
and
then
call
ciao.
it a day.
Yeah,
And it's more
exactly.
to teaching you on what you can do before Friday prayers. Of course, lunch is not mandatory, but it's an opportunity to
Lunch is
Okay.
mandatory. Okay, I'm telling you, lunch
Okay,
is
okay.
mandatory. Right?
Yeah.
Like Brother Yusuf just now as well, right?
Yeah.
Just now we went for around. Today is Friday. Today is Friday. When we shoot this, it's Friday, and we just came back from after Asar Friday prayers to shoot this. Okay, Brother Yusuf didn't know there was a Chinese hawker place close to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Right. Yao Gai Fan lah,
Ban mi.
Ban mi, char kway teow.
Yeah, everything, you know, they have everything.
Exactly, Brother Yusuf was like, wow, I'm gonna come here
Oh,
again.
Am I in heaven now?
Yeah.
You know, I
yeah,
felt like
exactly.
ooh.
Alhamdulillah. It's
My
different, right?
type,
It's
it's
different.
like my type of food, but I missed it for a long time.
Correct,
I haven't
correct,
eaten it in
correct.
a while.
This one really thanks to Brother Farouk. Brother Farouk introduced it to me. Serious.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll be nasi campur, nasi kandar. Not that I don't like
Yes.
it, although I'm from Penang, but you know, sometimes you want something for a change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so back to Brother Adam. What's your experience like when you walk in to the mosque? Okay, you see everyone around. Some are doing their tahiyatul masjid.
Yeah.
You know, before sitting down, waiting for the khutbah. You know, and then when the imam gives the khutbah, you know, everyone is supposed to be silent, not even to talk to your friend,
Yep.
or to even tell your friend to be quiet. You know, that there's a hadith on it. You see,
Yeah.
that you know you should just focus on the imam.
Yes.
So walk us through it. What was your whole experience throughout?
Initially, when I walked into the mosque for Friday prayers,
Yeah.
of course, same impression like Brother Yusuf. Felt a little bit nervous, nerve-wracking
Yeah.
to be exact.
Yeah.
Because again, we'll be thinking about how would people judge me,
Yeah.
and then, of course, I'm not wearing long sleeve, so
Understood,
I'm
understood.
showing part
Most of our skin, because
most of our
Yeah,
skin,
yeah.
of course. And then how would people judge me, saying, oh, this guy has ink on his
Understood,
skin,
understood.
so what is this guy doing here?
Correct.
And is he a Muslim or not? If he's a Muslim, why is he
Yeah.
having this and stuff like that?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I felt a little bit nervous because I
Understood.
thought people would be people were
Judgmental, is it?
judgmental.
Yeah.
I mean,
understand.
okay, because we always say that Islam welcome people in an open arm.
Correct.
They wouldn't be judgmental. It's
correct.
just a mindset where if you're doing something that in the past that was a sin in Muslim, even though you're a newborn Muslim, you feel like
it, like you're
you
out
feel
of
like
place a bit.
it's a
Correct,
yeah,
correct.
it's feel like it's still a sin, right? So
Correct,
for
correct.
people to show to people, because when you commit a sin, you're not supposed to tell people
Correct.
in Islam. You just keep it to yourself, right?
Subhanallah,
Yeah.
Correct.
But alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
honestly, no one really cares. No one bat an eye if I have a tattoo or not, because when everyone come in again, you're a Muslim, we welcome you with open arms.
Correct.
You're there to worship Allah, not to create any havoc, not to get any attention.
Correct.
So they knows that they are there to worship Allah, not to look around. I mean, you can look around, but not to judge, not to judge and stuff. So frankly, no one bats an eye,
Correct.
which is very good. And then walking to the place where we want to do our salat, 2 raka'an. I wanted to ask you, so where do we walk?
What was I
if
doing?
it- huh?
What was I doing?
I was following you, so I was asking you, where do I walk?
Oh, I
Because
see.
if there's someone doing the
Yeah.
doing this sujud in front of me,
Naam.
how much distance should I give?
Okay,
If I walk
okay.
over there, then he might get offended because I'm not
Understood.
supposed to block his path.
Walk across when he's praying. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
walk in front of him.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So, but at the same time, there's a lot of people praying
Exactly.
in so many areas, so you don't know
exactly.
which line you
You
should
gotta
walk.
navigate through.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, where should I walk?
No.
And I was like, it's okay, I'll follow Brother Hilmi.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, we didn't
Alhamdulillah.
block anyone's path.
Alhamdulillah,
And then
alhamdulillah.
when we sat down and prayed, you told me that there's 2 rak'ahs. I was like, huh? two rakaats. Okay, so masjid, every time you come in, you have to give two rakaat.
Correct.
And then for Friday prayers, you follow the other two rakaat from the
After the khutbah, correct.
after khutbah.
Yes.
But in other scenarios, you'll be two rakaat first, and then four rakaat during the salat time, right?
Correct.
Yes.
During this one.
Yes. So alhamdulillah, I remember the movements because two rakaat, so I just treat it like subuh, but not the minus the part where
Yep. Exactly.
treat it
the same.
like first rakaat and the last rakaat. So
Yep.
alhamdulillah, I was able to perform it, and then I noticed that in our first in my first Friday prayers
Naam.
was I
Naam.
noticed that you went in front to fill up the gaps. So I was thinking, why did he walk in front and fill out gap? Why can't he fill out gap beside me? And stuff like so I was thinking, okay, this is something new. Then I remember the lessons and the teachings from the brothers. They say
Okay.
that whenever it's possible,
No.
every mosque you go, try to stick your toes together and shoulder by shoulder to
Correct.
strengthen your
Stick your heels.
Yes.
Stick your heels so that okay. So the hadith is that so that the shaitan would not divide us.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
But also it serves as a form of unity. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you put heels in line with heels, that's why with the saf rows. Okay. So that no one, it's above another.
Yes.
No one's
correct.
no. You may be a king or a pauper. Okay. Someone who's very rich or high mighty, or someone who is, who has just only enough. But in the eyes of Allah, we are all the same, except in our taqwa. Taqwa meaning our righteousness towards Allah.
Yes.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great. Okay, so this is the second time for you, Brother Adam, and for Brother Yusuf, this is quite a few times. Okay, do share with us what are some of the interesting sermons, Friday sermons that you personally have listened to, if you could recall from any of your past previous sermons, Brother Yusuf, please.
I have to record this. Actually, all of the Friday prayers, the khutbah I attended is based in Malay. So for me, I have a little bit of difficulties when it comes to understanding of Malay. So whenever I go to a mosque, I actually do not understand what they say. So recently, I went to a mosque in Malaysia. I think it's around Damansara, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Istak.
Istak.
And-
Bukit Tunggu Istak.
Bukit Tunggu, right?
Yeah.
So what is very interesting for me is they do English khutbah. I never knew that any mosques do this because, the Muslim majority here, their mother tongue are Malay,
Correct,
So it's quite interesting for me. But honestly, when I was there, I couldn't really hear it. What caught my attention the most is actually the recitation.
Recitation?
Yes,
Okay.
the recitation. Let's say the mosque we went to today, actually, mashallah, he has such a good voice, so powerful. His voice was so powerful and heart-touching.
Right.
Just by listening to his recitation alone, I almost tear out. Honestly, just now, it just happened today. I almost teared out just listening to the imam's recitation. It was so beautiful. It's so heart-touching. And I felt very sad when we are making prayers for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. It really hits my heart because it feels like all of us are praying for one cause, So this is the unity that always touches my heart. And it's a feeling inside you that is more profound than words sometimes, You can feel it sometimes, but you cannot talk about it. You cannot describe it,
It's like thicker than blood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like thicker than blood.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Subhanallah, that's really good. How about Brother Adam Wong?
I did learn something new in the mosque is that
Yeah.
they were talking about our Palestinian brothers, how they were
Yep.
suffering,
Yep.
how can we make it better,
Yep.
and then when we were doing the prayers
Yep.
with them, I noticed that halfway through the prayers, we're starting to do our prayers for our Palestinian prayers.
That is called the Kunut Nazilah.
Yeah, the Quranic Nazilah.
Okay.
So that is the one that caught me off guard because I was like
Understood.
thinking, okay, I got rukaan number 1, 2, 3, 4. I know each rukaan what to
Yep,
do,
yep,
but it turns out
exactly.
I have more to learn.
Correct.
It seems that
Correct.
We have a way to also pray for our brothers in Palestine,
Correct.
how to send our prayers, and how can we try to help them spiritually in terms of
Exactly.
that way. Because initially I thought it's like every time when I'm done with my empat rukuan, I'll sit there baca doa. I think that's how I send my prayers. But I didn't know that there was another way that we can do as a unit to send our
Exactly.
prayers to our brothers in Palestine, which is very heart touching
Yep.
in a sense,
Right.
where I feel that there's always a way that if you want to help someone or try to send our prayers to them, there's always a way that Allah always give us a way
Indeed.
to help someone.
Exactly. And indeed, Allah is merciful in His ways, and it has already been revealed to us that, dua, it's a very powerful tool.
Yes.
Right. It's like sometimes there's only so much we can give in terms of material stuff. You want us to send to them, scared we from here cannot reach pula. So in cases like this, of course, why not go back to Allah? For He is the all-powerful, almighty,
Yes.
He is the all-capable. You see. So the best form is to always ask from Allah. Right. Alhamdulillah. And going back to the kunut, okay. Kunut in certain states in Malaysia, they do it every Fajr prayers in congregation in the mosque.
see. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But in some states, they omit it because there is a hadith, okay, around it that we will have to learn together lah. Okay, inshallah. We have to learn it. But kunut nazilah, okay, I've something. Let me explain to. Alhamdulillah, you've brought that up. Okay, so I could explain it to you as well as to some of our viewers at home that do not know what is kunut nazilah. Okay, so kunut nazilah. Okay, if a calamity, nazila means a calamity, befalls the Muslims, it is prescribed to say dua al-kunut after standing up from bowing, okay, in the last raka'ah,
Yes.
right, of each of the 5 daily obligatory prayers, okay, until Allah relieves the Muslims of that calamity. That is kunut nazilah. Only when there is a calamity befalls upon our fellow brother Muslims. And also this, if I'm not mistaken, this is more technical. You only do it when you have the head of the religious department say that you have to do it. Because in terms of religious matters, we don't want to add on our own things to it, you see.
Yes.
The religion does not belong to us, it belongs to Allah.
Yes.
Allah say how? Correct. Alhamdulillah. So that is kunut nazilah. Okay. And moving on from that, Brother Yusuf, how would you say for our new brothers, okay, that they are not yet Muslims or going to revert and all that, how would you encourage them to be confident of owning up that identity of a Muslim and to go for Friday prayers? Or how would you say to make it easy for them?
You mean like for the reverted or the still
Very new
considering?
ones.
Very new ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would say try to gain some braveness in you.
Okay.
And then just go. You just do it. No one is going to judge you there, because what I was scared the most is people's gonna turn eyes on me.
Yeah.
They will have judgment on me. But honestly, I don't think anyone cares. No one cares, maybe they took a glance and then that's it.
Correct.
So honestly, you just have to know the basic, know what to be expected, The best thing is actually to, if you're not ready to go to a mosque for Jumaat prayer because you are too afraid, I would suggest maybe you can pray during some other time first, like for Isha prayer.
Go with a brother.
Fajr. Or go with a brother,
Yes,
The
exactly.
best thing is go with your Muslim friend, because you can just
inshallah.
stick with them,
Correct.
And what to take note is go with your wudu, because sometimes when you go with your Muslim friend, they are rushing to the prayer.
Understood.
And then they have their wudu on, but you still have to take your wudu.
Understood.
What happens is when you go inside, everyone is gone missing.
Understood.
You cannot find anyone. You know, probably the
correct,
brother that
correct.
follow you already disappeared.
yeah,
You cannot
yeah.
even find them, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you feel out of place because
Understood.
I felt this before. Okay, wait for me. I need to take wudu. When I
Yep,
turn
yep.
around, where is the brothers?
correct.
I followed. So I have to walk inside and do my own thing, you
Correct.
know. But that is a good experience because
Right.
once you do it once, you can always do it all the time.
Alhamdulillah.
So this is like build up the braveness.
Yep.
You have to have the
Correct.
What-
And sorry,
what is
brother
the word?
Yusuf.
Yeah.
Going back to what you're saying, correct. Practice makes perfect. Practice your own on. Okay, it's Monday until Thursday, 5 times a day, 5 times 4, 20 times lah, huh? Obligatory.
yes,
Yeah.
obligatory.
Until it reaches, until it not 5 times 4. Yeah, correct lah. 5 times 4 lah.
Yes,
Ah,
20,
until
right?
plus 1.
21.
Morning.
And
21.
then
You have
Friday.
21 times to practice until you go for Friday.
Oh
Correct.
yeah, you have lots of time to practice, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it's not that difficult because
Yeah.
when you are new, right, you
Yeah.
sort of expect like everything to be too complicated.
Understood.
Everything is like you have to be a scholar. You need to get PhD in prayer.
Ah,
Actually,
sorry.
there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
PhD in prayer. You
Correct,
know,
correct,
people
correct.
bring their kids to the mosque, and then their kids just follow the movement. I would suggest if you really don't know anything, you didn't know how to recite Al-Fatiha, you didn't know anything, just follow their movement because this is the first step you should take before,
Correct.
and then you can start slowly learning everything else.
Exactly.
You can just follow their movement. No one's gonna judge you because everyone is concentrating at their prayers, right?
Yeah,
Even though if they judge you, they are not supposed to judge you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It is their wrongdoings for
Yeah,
judging
yeah,
you,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
first place.
Subhanallah. That's. Well said. Well said. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
brother Adam, how about you? Any words of encouragement or words of advice for our new brothers who are just going to, try to go to the mosque and get their Friday prayers obligation?
My first of advice would be that if that person is a revert,
Go and eat first. Say Yasin.
no,
Go and eat
that's
first.
why. That's why.
Probably eat
That's
char
why.
kway
That's why.
teow.
char kway teow
Yeah.
first. Okay.
So my first advice would be
Yeah.
remember why you reverted to a Muslim,
Subhanallah.
because
Alhamdulillah.
there's only one creator and that's Allah.
Yes.
And you're going to the mosque not to think about how people think about you. You're going to the mosque to worship the one and only creator, Almighty. Yes, that's my advice. And number two is, like you said, we have 21 times to practice our Quran.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Of course, if you do not know the citations, you can learn the movement through YouTube, of course,
Correct,
reliable
correct,
sources
correct.
like.
Mentors, come to
Yes.
Al Khadim. Come to Al
Come
Khadim.
to Al-Khadim is
Come
the
to
best
Al-Khadim.
option.
Alhamdulillah.
So when I
Alhamdulillah.
was doing my salat,
Yeah.
I will usually go to YouTube. I'll put it in front of me, but
Alhamdulillah.
of course I will also follow the movements.
Correct,
After
correct.
learning the movements, and then I'll go more in detail on the citations.
Recitation.
I can't remember all the citations,
It's
of course,
okay.
but I can remember some of the citations,
Yeah, yeah.
like when you do the bowing.
Yeah.
There's the
Subhana Rabbiyal
so-
Azim.
yes. And then
Subhana
when you-
Rabbiyal Ala.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
akla wabi hadim.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Alhamdulillah.
So yes, so I'm just learning bit by bit.
Exactly.
Like not all prayers that I can learn it maximum. It's like some prayers, if I can say it, I can say it. If some prayers I can't say it, then I can't say it. And then asyhadu ilaha illallah.
Oh, slowly, yeah.
Yes, slowly. So so of course the fourth rukun will be the hardest one because it's suddenly
Yeah.
there's the longer verse. There's like
Longer
there's
tashahud.
longer verse
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But of course, inshallah,
Inshallah.
I'll
Inshallah.
learn more.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes,
It's just a
because
matter of time.
of course in the mosque I can try to learn, but most of the time people are whispering to them. Because they are the one that is communicating with Allah. They are not supposed to. I mean, they can say it, but they are not showing off out loud. It's just that it's between them and Allah.
Correct. Everyone
But
is their own.
Yes,
You see?
but I'm still slowly
Worship.
learning about the citation, and
Inshallah.
inshallah I can memorize everything by end of this year. I'm just
Inshallah.
putting a timeline.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So I pray that may Allah Subhanahu wa Taala make it easy upon us to bring us closer to Him, right? And Alhamdulillah, it's really rejuvenating, as I always say. There's a lot that of reminders that I get for myself, and a lot of learning that I get from the both of you. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Barakallahu
Alhamdulillah.
fikum. Thank you. Inshallah, 2 more Friday prayers to come together in a
Yes.
congregation.
Yes,
Okay.
inshallah.
And till we meet again on our next episode, don't forget we have our AKYC coming up. Okay, and it's not just your regular Islamic youth camp. It's filled with action-packed activities, as well as things that we would teach your children in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Okay, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we end with the tasbih kifarah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah.